Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make my family's recipe for ciambellotto, which is an Italian citrus cake. It's commonly known throughout Italy as ciambella, which means ring or sort of bunch, that sort of thing. But for whatever reason in our family, we've always called it ciambellotto. So I grew up eating this. We love it. And this recipe actually comes from my zia Anna, my Nonna's sister, who lives in Sicily in a beautiful Baroque town called Scicli. But it's identical to the recipe my Nonna had, except my Nonna didn't ever write anything down, so we had to use my zia Anna's recipe. And if you know Sicily, they're known for their citrus. Every time we visit my zia Anna, she'd send us back to Rome with backpacks full of oranges and lemons. It was pretty amazing. But the beauty of this cake is that if you don't have those things like fresh orange juice, or if it's not in season, you can use yogurt or milk. So it's really, you can adapt to kind of the ingredients that you have. Very simple, great for breakfast, and I'm excited to show you how to make it. Okay, just a quick run through of the ingredients here. Again, it's a super simple cake, pretty much one bowl, so not a lot here. We've got 3 eggs, some lemon zest, the juice of 2 oranges. If you have blood oranges, if it's blood orange season, that is perfect. About 75 mils of just sort of a neutral oil, but you could definitely use olive oil. This is canola oil. Then I've got this, which is like an Italian vanilla scented baking powder, which is awesome. You don't have to use this. You can use just regular baking powder, but if you can find it, and all the Italian delis stock it, and they're still open and looking for your business, it's great. Then I've got a little bit of vanilla flavoring. You can just use vanilla extract. Some flour, 300 grams of flour, and 300 grams of sugar. So a funny thing about this particular recipe is that when my mom wrote it down, when she had gone with my dad to visit my zia Anna one year, she had wrote it down like a glass of orange juice, a glass of, or about 1/3 of a glass of oil. And I was like, a glass, is that a cup? Like, what is it? So when I had originally tested it out, I did it first with cup measures, and what I realized is what they were using is sort of the mini tumblers that they use in Italy for like wine or water. Anyways, they're not true cup measures. So I had to kind of recreate the recipe using what I thought were reasonable measurements. It didn't work out a couple times. Okay, so this is annoying, so I won't do this for a long time, but the trick to this is beating it. So my zia said you have to really beat the eggs and sugar to get a fluffy cake. So what I'm doing is I'm beating those 3 eggs with a pinch of salt, just kind of until it's bubbly, right? And then I'm going to add the sugar, and I'm going to beat this by hand for quite a while. I won't make you sit here and watch me do that, but you're going to do it until it's like nice, thick, creamy, and ribbony. It's an arm workout. You can also do this in a machine. I just don't want a dirty dish. Okay. So when you're done beating the eggs with the sugar, it should be like thick and ribbony. Then you want to add in your oil. Okay, you give it another mix. And your lemon zest. Put that in. The lemon zest is kind of non-negotiable, even if you're doing this with yogurt or milk or whatever. The lemon zest adds a really, really nice flavor to it. So I kind of would always put that in. Now we're going to start adding the flour, and what I've done is I've just mixed the baking powder and that the vanilla powder in there. If you were using vanilla extract, just put it into the liquid. So what we're going to start doing now is adding the flour a little bit at a time with the orange juice, which is kind of separated, but it's fine. So we're going to add a bit of flour, then mix it. So you'll see it gets thicker. Then the orange juice. And it doesn't matter if there's pulp in there. It's gonna all be fine. Orange juice, then a little bit more flour. You get the idea. It's pretty simple. Yeah, and like I said, we got this recipe from my Zia Anna. My Nonna used to make it. And then when I started making it, when I figured out the recipe, she stopped making it. She got annoyed because she said, I made it better. And so she said, nope, I'm done. I'm going to retire from Ciambellotto. And anyways, I always kind of felt a little bit bad about that, but then what I like doing is making her, she'd ask me for a ciambellotto every so often, and I'd make one for her. And it was like virtually the only thing that she said was really good, so that's the last of the orange juice and the last of the flour. So it's gonna be like a runny batter. But don't worry, it's gonna be great. So I'll show it to you. That's it. Then we're going to pour it into our ring mold. I'm not going to do that on camera because I'll make a mess. So here it is in the tin. You'll see I did definitely make a mess. It's down there. This is just a greased and floured ring mold tin. It actually belonged to my Nonna. It's got some dents and it's well used and well loved, and it's my favorite. But just make sure to get this out easily, to spray it with Pam or rub it with butter, put flour on it. And now all we have to do is put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Strict instructions from Ziana, do not open the door while it's cooking. And here it is. 45 minutes later. It's looking good. I like to leave this for a little bit just to cool down before attempting to unmold it. It just gets a little bit more stable. And sometimes you'll get, like you can see it starting to crack around the center, and that's totally fine. You know, it's an imperfect, perfect cake. So that's it. I hope you had fun, and I hope you make this, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as we do.